What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another brand new live episode of Strong Style here on the Outlaw Nation channel. Woo-wee! Do we got a lot to cover today? I already see the chat is hopping with comments, questions, theories, rumors, facts. It's all jumping out in there on the chat. So we're going to have a lot of fun talking about all kinds of things today. But first, let's introduce ourselves. I am the Outlaw Jon Rocha, joined as always every week by my brother out there in Orlando, Aaron Turner. How are you, man? Hell of a week in wrestling. How are you feeling?
A lot going on, man. Got caught up last night. Watched some AEW Rampage last night. Didn't catch much Smackdown. Caught a little bit, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're definitely going to get into some SmackDown stuff. You know, I tweeted out what they did with B-Fab, what they did with Hit Row. Just looked terrible with Sami Zayn, in my opinion, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. We're going to address WWE releasing 18 wrestlers and some big names, some surprises, some controversy surrounding some of these releases. We're also going to get into AEW Dynamite. We're going to get into that, the Eddie Kingston CM Punk promo off. People wanted it to go the whole show. It was so good. And we're going to talk a little bit about Jon Moxley and the brave decision he's taking here to go into rehab. So much going on that we're going to talk about here on the show. And remember, Streamlabs, SuperChats, very, very, very important. I've pinned it in the chat already. It's on the screen there, and it's in the description of this video. Send in your Streamlabs, send in your SuperChats, and we might bring some of you all in throughout the show to give your points of views and your opinions about the situation, about what's going on. I want to hear from some of you all as fans of professional wrestling, what you think about everything that's happening here in the WWE and AEW as well. All right, Aaron, where shall we start? As if I didn't know.
I mean, you got to start with the biggest news of the week, and that's more releases. There was rumor circulating around Twitter that this was going to happen again.
Yeah.
A few names, like no names were really released. It was just like, they're going to cut some people, and I kind of thought like, okay, they're just going to cut people that aren't working out in NXT 2.0, and they did that. And then they just said, fuck it, we're just going to cut a bunch of other people too. So let's just run down the list here. Might as well. Karrion Kross, former NXT heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Scarlett, his valet and fiance. Keith Lee, former NXT North American champion and NXT champion. Mia Yim, his fiance. Nia Jax, former women's tag team champion and Raw women's champion. Ember Moon, former NXT champion as well and tag team champion. Frankie Monet, better known as Taya Valkyrie, who feels like she just got there. She's gone. Jessie Kamea, who had been put in a storyline with Frankie and Robert Stone. She's gone. Oni Lorcan, who is a former NXT tag team champion, really hadn't done much since Danny Burch has been on the shelf. Gone. Eva Marie, who they just brought back. Gone. Grand Metalik, gone. Harry Smith, who we never saw on television, but just heard that he was back. Gone. B-Fab from Hit Row, you already mentioned that. Lindsay Dorado, who I believe had kind of asked for his release. Him or Grand Metalik, or maybe both of them, asked for their release, so no surprise there. And then Trey Baxter, Zaida Ramir, Jeet Rama, and Katrina Cortez of NXT all let go.
Ow.
There's rumors. There's rumors out there, no facts, that it could be due to vaccination status for some people. Allegedly, I think it's Wrestle Talk I read this on. Don't quote me on that. There could be an edict regarding female talent that they don't want to hire anyone older than 25. Which is very interesting. And of course, the aforementioned budget cuts is always what happens. So, John, thoughts here, man? What's going on?
I mean, there's a massive amount of surprise for me, and then not so much surprise on some of them. I mean, Ember Moon is a massive surprise. I know everyone's talking about Nia Jax and her connections to The Rock and all that, and I get it. That's a massive surprise. But for me, it's Ember Moon. They worked really hard to resuscitate Ember Moon after she didn't quite take off on the main roster of SmackDown or Raw, and they moved her back down to NXT. They essentially resuscitated her. The fans were back in love with her. They paired her with Shotzi. They gave them the titles. They moved Shotzi up, and they left Ember down there to kind of stake her claim and do some more work. And then eventually, boom, now Ember is gone. This is one of the most talented wrestlers, female wrestlers you can have in the business. And you start to ask yourself, what are the reasons here? Is it budget cuts like everybody says? Is it because they just posted and tweeted and crowed about a $256 million profit or amount or that they made rather in the last quarter. So you talk about budget cuts. Are you bleeding money everywhere right now? Okay, like fans want to know. He doesn't have to reveal anything, Vince, and the board of directors, they don't have to, but we want to know what the hell is going on here. How are you making these cuts? What's the real reason? Because there seems to be no like path and no direction that they're going overall, other than, are you currently making me money? Are you currently over? Then you stay. If you're not over, you're gone. We saw that with Frankie Monet. She couldn't quite get over overall. Karrion Kross, they absolutely fumbled the ball on Karrion Kross, and creative doesn't get fired. The wrestler does, which really sucks. And, you know, Keith Lee, now all these things are coming out, and it feels like the Boston press all over again, where, you know, whenever there's a Red Sox that leaves or is let go from the team, there's always this kind of PR push to turn them into divas or people with attitude problems. And now we're seeing the story that Keith Lee apparently had attitude issues about in the back in the WWE. Meanwhile, Charlotte Flair apparently is okay to have attitude issues and stay on the fucking roster. And you see all of this. And then you get to the Nia Jax situation. The Nia Jax situation is really a minefield for a number of reasons. A, she was taking a mental health leave of absence. And look, she has been persecuted by a lot of the fans and us on the show sometimes for her negligence in the ring. And that's no other, I don't think there's any other word you can use but negligence in the ring and hurting some of these wrestlers in her clumsy, awkward way that she wrestles. And so maybe all of that pressure had gotten to her. She's talked openly about her battles with her body, with her health issues, all of that, her appearance, what people say about her. So she was taking a leave of absence for mental health. Then she wanted to extend it, and in the extension, they fired her. They released her, and so Paige is one of the more out there vocal people who said, "Bring her back." So there's a lot here. Does she have a case? Can she sue? What does it say that the WWE didn't care about her mental health? Did they think she was taking advantage of the leave a little bit? Like, we don't know the behind the scenes of what was going on both sides of this. So that is a minefield. So there's a lot of my reaction here that is tied to a few of these wrestlers. Everyone else seems logical because they weren't really doing that much for the WWE, but those names I've mentioned are the ones that stick out to me. What was your reaction? What do you think is happening here?
What the fuck? So Keith Lee came back from his illness.
Yes.
And it was like, okay, well, now I guess we're going to roll with Keith Lee. We're going to make him Bearcat Keith Lee, or Keith Bear. We're going to give Keith Bearcat Lee. We're going to give you that Bearcat lineage. Maybe some people will grip onto that. And I was like, okay, well, they're going to make him heel. That'll be fine. And even they should have made him a babyface because he would have been the most sympathetic person in the company coming back from an illness like that. So
true.
Whatever.
Very true.
So I think I don't know. They were like, okay, well, we tried like 3 times with Keith Lee. He's not getting over it, but you got to give him a chance. Like, you can't, you put him in the ring with Randy Orton day one when he comes up to the main roster. And he looks great.
Yeah.
You put him in there with Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble, and it's awesome. And then it's like, then you have him get beat on Raw by Karrion Kross for no reason. Like, why are you putting them together?
Right.
It's just, I don't know, dude. They never brought Scarlett in, which makes no sense. Like, that's a package gimmick with her and Karrion Kross. It works so well in NXT. I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Because they were essentially brought in during the pandemic where nobody was around. And then, like, his whole run in NXT, there was basically nobody around.
Yeah.
He kicked everyone's ass. Then he got beat by Samoa Joe. And then he goes to the main roster where, okay, he wasn't well received. Okay, well, don't give him a stupid helmet and change the gimmick. Just roll with the gimmick.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why they didn't bring Scarlett with him. Nia Yim, I figured ever since what was it called? Retribution. Whenever she and that group broke up, I felt like she was on borrowed time. No offense to Mia. But I just felt like they weren't going to find a spot for her, which is unfortunate because I think she's quite good and she's gotten better over the years. Frankie Monet is just they screwed that up from jump because she never should have gone to NXT. She did not have good matches in NXT. I will admit that. I don't think that the talent was necessary. Like, she was kind of having to probably do too much with people that weren't ready to wrestle her and weren't, as far advanced as her. Maybe. So that was a fumble. She should have been brought right into the main roster. She should have been put with John Morrison, her real life husband, and then broken off into something of her own. They should have done that immediately. As far as like Lindsay Dorado and those guys, I think they wanted out anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not really like a big deal. They got what they wanted. Eva Marie.
There's another one.
That's completely ridiculous. Not the fact that she got released, but the fact that they brought her back in the first place. Once again, essentially during the pandemic, I think she was on the first show they had live people, and then it just like, I think from day one, it's like, yeah, this doesn't work. We're past this era, so I don't understand where all that comes from. But it's just Vince, man. It's just, God damn it, pal. God damn it, pal. We're gonna fucking fire you. You're fired.
It's a fascinating thing to look at here, Aaron, because in almost every other sports, and this is sports entertainment, in almost every other sport, if you can't get the players to produce, the coach is fired, not the players. Usually, and it's because they're signed to lucrative contracts. In this situation, these are 1099ers. These are independent contractors most of the time. You got your Cenas and your Rocks and all. That's a separate category. But all these other people were building or were trying to build a resume in the WWE to achieve that level at some point down the road. Look, Becky, if Becky doesn't become the man, Becky could have been cut. There's no way that Becky isn't in the conversation if she hadn't become the man, because before she became the man, she was this close to being a jobber for a lot of the women on the women's side of things. She'd lost so many times to the top stars. So it's just like, okay, what are you going to do here? So she saved herself by going that route, and now she's like one of the Cenas. So that's how it works sometimes. You just never know. And there's so much potential that they seem to have just given up on here, Aaron, after they couldn't make it work. Not the wrestlers, creative, changing their gimmick. I don't know what the obsession is of changing the gimmick from NXT to WWE. I just don't get it. And the same thing, keep Frankie Monet's name. Keep her name. That's what people know. If you can keep her name and there's no issues with rights, keep her fucking name. Stop acting like it's the 80s where you got to change the name if you're going to come in here and we're going to put our stamp on you. Shut the fuck up. It's 2021. People are way more aware of shit than they were in the fucking 80s or even the 90s. There's way more exposure to wrestling. People know this shit. So just let them come in as they are. You co-opt the name. It's not like if I traded for OBJ, I got to tell OBJ to find 3 new initials to play for my team. People fucking know, and so it's just so frustrating to me to see this stuff happen over and over again. Bearcat, Keith Lee was fine being Keith Lee. You fucked up his rollout. He had the COVID-19. Just bring him back and being a badass all over again and just put him back into the matches and people would have been all over it. So it's super frustrating to see this happening constantly with so much potential in these wrestlers, and they just can't. Creative never seems to get fired. That never seems to get announced, but the wrestlers do, and I think it's unfair to them like crazy because they can only do what they're told to do.
Yeah, you're 100% right, man. And as far as like the name changes go, I understand why you would change Killer Kross, which was his independent name, to Karrion Kross, because you can't have someone named Killer on your show. Just, it's for fucking kids. You can't. So it's fine. They changed it to Karrion Kross, which is arguably better. I kind of like it better. But anyway,
okay.
You take the Bordeaux off of Scarlett Bordeaux, even though I'm not sure why she's called Scarlett, because she's not red. She's not red.
Right.
But
it's all black.
Fine. Yeah. And stuff like that. I don't know why they changed Taya Valkyrie. Maybe they just want to own shit. I don't know. So the thing that really like racks my brain is for a lot of time people have been saying like, what good does the Performance Center do? Yeah, what good does it do? Because you bring these people through the Performance Center to teach them the WWE way.
Yeah.
Then you put them on NXT. Then they go to the main roster, and then you just get rid of them. Like, well, it's just not working out as we thought it was going to work out. So,
right.
Goodbye. And as far as like, Karrion Kross being QAnon or whatever, that's a different issue.
I didn't know that. Okay.
That's allegedly what's out there. I don't know for sure. I don't check on that kind of thing.
Right.
But Nia Jax came out and said all these things about her mental health, and that's great. And I'm sorry that she's going through that. I hope she gets through on the other side just fine.
Absolutely.
But she also never confirmed if she was vaccinated or not. She never said that she was.
She said weird. I think she put in their Instagram post that her vaccination status never came up as an issue.
Well, that's fine, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it seems to imply that they knew she wasn't vaccinated. It's kind of a roundabout way.
Or she is,
I suppose, but it seems to be like it's about her not being vaccinated. But you're right; it could be that she is.
She could just be immunized. You know,
don't even.
She could just be immunized,
don't even
right?
Start with that nonsense.
That's fine.
That fucking idiot. Ugh.
Well, hey, man, like I feel like I bury Kyrie Irving on this show. I feel like it's only fair to bury Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, don't be Stephen A. Smith. Bury
what a fucking jack off Aaron Rodgers became. Like. Somebody put a tweet, and it was just so apropos, John. And I know I'm getting off topic, but
stay on this topic. Please.
Someone said, "You either die, Aaron Rodgers, or you live to see yourself become Brett Favre." And I was like, "Holy shit! Amazing! Yeah, it's just." And then you find out that like Shailene Woodley like eats clay, or somebody said that like she eats clay, and she's like a fucking weirdo too. And it's like, you people have too much money to where you need to find you find these weird pockets of society to fit in, and I don't understand it. Like,
yeah. It's really weird. It's look, I know LA people. I know I lived in LA for 20 years. I know it's nutty. It's weird. People hugging crystals. I mean, I dated a woman for a couple of months who thought people lived on the moon, and the moon was a spaceship, and that there were people living at the center of the earth. Legitimately believed that, and sent me to websites to try to prove her point that she believed that it was true what she believed. So it's crazy in LA. I get it, right? I totally get it, but this thing that Aaron Rodgers is doing, and Shailene Woodley and her issues, like she even put on Instagram, it's the storms that really test who you are. It's like, not the self-imposed storms, but not when the water is really peaceful and calm and you set a storm off. That's a whole nother ball game. And even today, he came out and said some stuff about how every liberal or every person on the left would have refused the vaccine if Trump was in office. And it's like, just shut the fuck up, man. Don't say anything. Focus on your bullshit and get through this shit and come out the other side. And now, because what he's basically doing, he was going to be the host of Jeopardy. I mean, he was trying to be the host of Jeopardy. Now, this motherfucker will be lucky if he's one of the 5 on Fox News, to be honest with you. This is the end of Aaron Rodgers, I believe, in the NFL. Although there are a lot of Red State fans, I think this is the end of him. And Bryce, or was it Jordan Love? Or Bryce Love? Jordan Love showing up with a mask at the press conference, I thought was a huge shot across the bow at Aaron. And the Packers organization themselves taking a huge shot at Aaron. But anyway, the vaccination status, that's the connection here when you talk about it. You brought it up earlier, and you were just talking about it with Nia. Do you think the vaccination status had an issue with this? Because why is Sasha there if the vaccination status is an issue?
That's, also, again, alleged. Yeah. Alleged that she's anti-vax. I don't know, dude. Like, what if WWE is going to start standing on ceremony now? Like, they're just going to, this is where we're going to put our foot down. I think it's just an excuse.
Yes.
It's just one of those things. Like, then why did you wait so long to get rid of Velveteen Dream? You know what I mean? Like,
good point.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. And they do this stuff, and I just don't know. I just don't know what the end game is. Like, we talked about the Performance Center. I look at this from like a merchandising point, right? Like, I'm a big action figure. I know this is like stupid and third world problems, but hear me out. Like, I collect action figures. I buy the WWE video games. I buy the cards. Like, I buy the stuff.
Right.
So if I am like wanting to like essentially invest in a Karrion Kross action figure for my collection, why the fuck would I do it now when 2 months later he's going to be gone?
Yeah.
Like, why would I do that? I buy this Io Shirai figure, and then like 2 months she's going to be done. What's the fucking point? And what's the like? How does this affect their merchandising? Because they've got WWE 2K 22 that was supposed to come out this year, which is already pushed to next year. Is there anybody on the fucking roster? It's going to be Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, the 4 Horsewomen, and that's fucking it, because they don't have anybody else. And I don't understand this. It's mind numbing, dude.
Yeah, because I think this is an interesting situation. And Vince, look, you can come after Vince all you want, but this guy has found a way to survive for decades against whatever comes after him. And I can't remember who tweeted, I wish WCW would have won, or somebody tweeted that. I can't remember who it was.
That was Dax Harwood of FTR.
Yes, he said, I wish WCW would have won. I don't, but I wish
on that.
I wish WCW would have stayed in business. I think that's a more viable tweet to put out there, to go toe to toe with the WWE throughout this whole situation. We might have got a little bit better overall as a business, but yeah, I mean, this is what you look at with Vince, and Vince may be doing. I mean, they had too much talent. They fired 2 of their top people last year, I think, and brought in Khan to take over. And Khan is essentially is part of this with Laurinaitis and Vince of making these cuts and streamlining the people behind the scenes and streamlining the operation. And this is part of it. And look, they got rid of 2 people that are really close to Stephanie McMahon and high up in the WWE in terms of positions that were connected to Stephanie. So they're making cuts all over the place, not just in front of the camera. So you start to wonder, what is the idea here? Because I want to throw some stats out to you guys in terms of money. They were not hit as badly during COVID. The record 39% increase in digital video views during the third quarter in 2021 tells a story. And apparently WWE live events in North America attracted the, quote, highest quarterly average attendance in more than a decade. So they had created a desire for their product by staying on air. So these budget cuts, to me, does not ring of honesty, or unless they're trying to increase the profit for the executives at the top of the pecking order at the expense of their workforce, which in a business is not fucking unheard of, and especially a business run by a red state hardcore conservative, probably MAGA guy like Vince. So to me, this is where I come back to the whole time. This feels again like the rich trying to get richer at the expense of their workforce and cutting their livelihoods because they've allowed themselves to be 1099ers in this situation. And that's fucking unfortunate. And nothing else, I hope this motivates wrestlers or somebody to create a union for real, to negotiate a union for real and make this happen so shit like this can't happen, you know?
Here's another part of the issue. Like, I always feel for people, like, you never want anybody to lose their job.
Yeah, of course.
Unless they fucking deserve it, then you can lose your job. But like, you look at the pool of people that they have.
Yeah.
I've said it before, we'll say it again. AEW cannot sign everyone. ROH just essentially closed down shop.
Yeah.
Impact is just kind of hanging on. They can't sign everybody. MLW is cutting talent. Not everybody wants to go to Japan.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
Well, and this is what I think that Vince is thinking possible. I'm not trying to give him too much credit, but he might be thinking 10 steps ahead. If I flood the market, then the other organizations are going to have to struggle to figure out who they're going to pick up and not pick up. And are they going to risk offending the talent they've already signed that they've been building up and cause them drama? So let me cause all them drama while I keep making my money. I stay at a certain level. I've cut salaries or I've cut costs so I can survive flooding the market while these or smaller organizations battle over who's going to get paid what and egos and all of that. And I'll pick out the pieces afterwards, because as the top dog, if there's an unhappy big star that I can see that will work for my company, I'll just pick him or her up and bring him into the WWE once their contract is done. So there could be a kind of Machiavellian brilliance to what Vince is doing here that maybe a lot of people aren't or don't want to give him credit for.
But at what cost? Because eventually people are just going to stop watching. Like, I know that we say that a lot of people, myself included, like threaten, like, oh, I'm going to stop watching it. I can't watch this. This is stupid. I cannot support their decisions. Yet, here's my figures and here's all this stuff. So it's like, at what point do you actually like stand up and say, you know what? I'm not going to watch this bullshit anymore. I'm not going to do this. Like, I got my favorites. My favorite wrestler's long retired. So like, what's the point? They're doing some cool shit on the other show on occasion. I think I'll go watch that instead. Like, at what point does that happen? Then, like, USA is like so pissed about NXT because they thought they had something like really cool and edgy, and they were just like, nope. It did. Like, USA and Comcast or whoever owns that was like, all right, Monday Night Raw, it's a great stalwart. Yep, it's not good. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah. And then Fox is like the winner. They get SmackDown, which has been pretty pretty good to okay most of the time. So Fox is kind of winning the deal there.
Yeah,
I kind of wonder if they're just like trying to get away from NBC sometimes, but that doesn't make sense because Peacock owns the network. So I don't fucking know, John. It's driving me nuts.
I know it is. A lot of people are speculating, and people with bigger sources than we have are speculating themselves in numerous articles over numerous websites talking about what the possibility may be here, what the issues are. And the truth is, there may be a number of things going on here. And so many people who are quite knowledgeable and connected say this is not about Vince selling the company. This is not about Vince selling the company at all. This is more about Vince maybe streamlining a profit system for himself. And maybe they realized they had signed way too many wrestlers during that boom when they were trying to kind of stop these other federations from signing great talent and kind of stop them cold. Maybe he realized that wasn't the best way to go. Maybe some business advisors got in his ears. Maybe Khan got in his ears and was like, hey, this is not the way to go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And Vince is doing it. And, Triple H is suspiciously quiet because there's a lot of his NXT people that he built up, he fostered, he trained, he schooled, who have gotten released over the last year from the year and some change from the WWE. So, some people even speculate this is a power move by Vince to kind of show Triple H and shut all those people up that he's the man. I don't know.
Well, Thanksgiving's going to be awkward. I can tell you that. So.
Awkward. We've got some super chats that have come in. I don't see any Streamlabs yet. Oh, Christian Ramos sent one in. But hey, Streamlabs are open, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're enjoying all the stuff we're talking about. The chat is hopping. We got almost 100 of you watching us live. Please remember to send in your Streamlabs and Super Chats to support all we're doing here on the show. What are your thoughts on it? And Aaron and I will bring in people in a few minutes here to hear your thoughts, what you think might be happening. Have one quick question. Keep it moving, and let's get into it here. First of all, a Super Chat here from Empire Fan 1980 who says they got rid of Keith Lee and Kross, but they keep Paige. She's not doing anything for them that I know of. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm certainly not going to have any negative words about Paige. But what do you think about this situation, Aaron? Why would they get rid of Keith Lee and Kross, but keep Paige, who's really not working in their business?
I don't know if her contract has been altered to be different now, so I don't know how that works. I assume like when WWE Backstage was going on, she had a different style contract because she's no longer a working talent, or they have some sort of agreement behind the scenes. I don't think she's getting her full talent rate, but I could be wrong about that. So I just think it's a different situation.
Okay. All right. Fair point. The next one, let's see what we got. So all the way at the top here, I want to make sure I get it on screen. If I can get it on screen, it is from Roberto Arsenal. Great. Roberto Arsenal has come in a number of times here. Says Tony can't sign them all. Speaking of Tony Khan over there at AEW, but Keith and Ember would be a great fit for AEW. It's so wrong that Morrison was in Europe on the European tour while his wife got fired. Yeah, that's a bad look too. I mean, I don't think they factored any of that shit in. They're like, this is everybody's getting let go. That's that.
And they just moved to Orlando. Like John and Taya moved to Orlando to be closer to the Performance Center. And now Taya already said they're moving back to the West Coast. So
wow. Already. Damn.
They're gone.
There you go. Well, who knows how long Morrison's going to stick around? That's for sure too, right? I mean, that's kind of crazy too, Aaron. That's not a given.
I know this is weird though. I feel like they're going to push him though. They're going to fire his wife, but they're going to give him a push. I don't know.
We'll just make him a manager, like you said. Empire Fan 1980 says, imagine Triple H got fed up about Vince and went to AEW. That would never happen, but damn, that would be a hell of a shot across the bow. Yeah, that would be something like a real life WWE storyline where he actually went to the guy who rode a tank in to attack WCW in a skit could actually go to AEW. I don't think that would ever happen in a million years, but that could be something.
Triple H is the Trojan horse. He just comes in and kills WWE. Amazing. How it feels like a Roman or a Greek tragedy or something. That's great. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Man.
I like that idea if they were willing to surrender control. If Cody was willing to sit back and let Triple H run things, I could see that happening, because maybe there is a point where he just gets sick of it and goes, I want to run my own thing. But, he is the heir in waiting, dude. Haskell 420 says, breaking while you're on air. Apparently WWE is going to release the men's and women's Raw and SmackDown Survivor Series teams starting at 3:30 p.m. ET, so 12:30 p.m. PT. So right now, apparently they might be revealing that. So if it comes across, we will make the announcements, and then Aaron and I will give our thoughts on it. Sound good to you?
Sure.
Okay.
It's probably going to suck, but okay.
Thanks, Haskell. I appreciate you saying that. And Christian Ramos sent in a Streamlab here. He said 200 wrestlers released in 3 years from the WWE. Easily a third company could open up. Wasn't Mark Cuban a huge wrestling guy? I thought he was trying to put New Japan on Access TV before Impact bought the channel. Could he be next to open up a new promotion? Yeah, Aaron, if you had something lined up, it could be possible.
Mark Cuban is a smart guy, very much so. He's a billionaire. I don't know if Mark Cuban wants to get into a business that he has to oversee, because it's something like Mark Cuban's the kind of guy that invests and then like gets out. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't like, he owns like movie theater chains, but he's not like he's not like the guy that's in the day-to-day operations of it.
Right.
And I think if you're going to build a wrestling company, you have to have someone that's in the day-to-day operations. Like Tony Khan owns AEW. He's there all the time. He's got his foothold in it. We know Vince has the foothold in WWE. So like, you kind of have to be there.
Yeah.
Most of the time, especially starting out. So I don't think Mark Cuban would want to do that.
And it wasn't like there wasn't a lot of drama behind the Mavericks going on right now, and some of those accusations that have come, allegations that have been revealed for sure. Murderanta says, "What impact have the cuts had on WWE profits?" I'd like to know that. Well, I mean, I read out some of the figures that have come out, and those figures certainly are post the releases from last year and earlier this year. So it could be them. It could be working out for them that they're seeing a higher increase of profit from these cuts. It's just unfortunate, that they are in a position now where they are letting people go who are dependent on this money and the salary to exist and to survive. And as Aaron said, to move to a new location, then have to spend money moving back to another location. It's a shithole situation overall, man. So, yeah.
Yeah, you never like to see anybody lose their jobs unless they've earned it. But it's just like, I feel like you can't really get behind anybody. Like when I would watch NXT, like in the early days of that, I would like get behind people. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get behind Sami Zayn, or I'm going to get behind Adrian Neville, and then they're gone, or they change their gimmicks, or they suck, or it's like the Ascension, who I was really behind, and they fucked that up. They're out of here. And it's just like, also Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, gone. They're gone. They're leaving. Cesaro leaving. Guarantee it. And then on the other, who else was I thinking? Kyle O'Reilly, allegedly his contract is up, even though he had a dark match on SmackDown last night. He's gone. He's leaving. Johnny Gargano probably leaving too. So it's like, and they probably don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, okay, well, that's another person we don't have to pay. So that's fine. And I'm sure Tommaso Ciampa won't be far behind any of those people. So it's going to look a lot different soon. Even more different soon.
Yeah, and look, a number of those people who were released comments and statements. Ember Moon tweeted out, "All I can do is laugh." Mia Yim tweeted out, 90 days, let's go to work. Lince Dorado said, "Can someone tell me what 90 days is from yesterday?" Asking for a friend.
Yes.
Orny Lorcan said he had a great 6 years with the WWE, that he's excited for what's coming. Bordeaux had an intriguing invitation for promoters to book her. She said, "Time to fulfill a wrestling dream of having a hardcore bra and panties match." She said, "Seriously, someone book it." Catalina Garcia said, "Everything I did with love. Thank you for giving a 19-year-old girl the opportunity to fulfill her dream to be the first masked woman, the first Chilean, and to represent Latinos / Hispanics." So shout out to her. So some people were thankful. Metalik said, "Thank you, WWE Universe, for welcoming me with open arms. Thank you, Vince McMahon, for granting me my release." He was one of those people that was trying to get out of the situation, so he got out for sure. And Karrion Kross said, "I heard you all the entire time." So he posted something as well. So quite a lot of people, but we haven't even touched on B-Fab. Let's kind of touch on B-Fab, man. What an incredible loss to Hit Row, and you saw it in huge evidence last night on SmackDown. Then they even cut her part of the fucking music. The music that they come out to, their theme, they cut her part out of the thing. We said this on the show. I said this on the show. They were going to find a way to ruin Hit Row. I didn't trust them. And without hesitation, within a couple of weeks, they already ruined Hit Row, in my opinion. What did you think about the B-Fab release? And what did you think about how they handled it, man?
Well, I love Hit Row.
Yes, you do.
Big hit row fan. So
you bought a shirt.
And I'll tell you this, like, I'm no rap connoisseur, but I do like rap music, and I would say that B-Fab's part in that song is the best part.
Okay, there you go.
Brianna Brady has been a rapper for like 15 years, so it's not like it's not like she's just some goof that came off the street that got a singer gimmick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think wrestling was for her. In the sense of like in the ring. I don't think that's for her. I don't know why they put her in the ring. I didn't like her in the ring. But she could have got better. I don't know. Right. I think as like a valet or somebody like that, I think she was vital to Hit Row's success. Mm-hmm. I think they needed a different dynamic other than 3 dudes.
Yeah.
And because I kind of think sometimes, even though I love Swerve, I think him and Ashante kind of like cancel each other out because they're both like smaller athletic guys.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you've got the big guy and Top Dollar back there. And I just felt like B-Fab was like a nice, what do I want to say? Like a nice complimentary part to that group. And then when you get rid of her, it's just like, this is flat. And then when you get rid of her verse, it's flat. The song doesn't have the same, like the hit row. That's her. That's the whole, like, that's how you get fans going and singing it with you. And it's just like, this sucks. And we should have known, like, they are who we thought they were. Allegedly, B-Fab signed like a new contract like a week ago. And they were just like, ha, you're fucking fired.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And watching Sami Zayn act a fool last night with Hit Row was, I mean, I almost used the terms shucking and jiving because that was what it looked like to me that he was doing. And I got and of course, you know, look, I got no problem with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has been very out there in his opinions on certain situations that he thinks that are going on in the world that are unfair to people, unfair to the going on in certain countries. So I got no issues with Sami Zayn. I think he's a man of principle. But he's also a performer, and doing that stuff and acting the way he did, all I could think of as I was watching it is I've seen so many country white boys making fun of rap in this way and exactly what he's doing, and having him do that and then having Hit Row turn on him. I mean, you're essentially, yes, Hit Row got the best of the exchange and that they turned on him, but you essentially are saying it's okay for people to act this way when they're listening to rap music by having them act this way. And so for me, it really kind of absolutely undercut Hit Row and then turned them into a circus show, which is so frustrating overall. And when you bring them over, this is exactly what we were worried they were going to do. And they did it. And they got nothing out of that exchange with Sami Zayn. Zero. They lost credibility. They lost status rather than gaining any status in that exchange. It made no sense.
Best part of SmackDown was Shotzi, and that's it.
Yes. Ooh, she's really coming into her own. No doubt. That promo they did of her, that was a badass promo, bro. I absolutely agree with you. All right, I'm putting in the chat here. There is the address if you guys want to come in and give your 2 cents about the releases, about what you think might be going on. All we ask is that you come in with succinct comments, succinct thoughts, make it quick, give us the thoughts, comments, and boom. No 5 questions, no follow-up questions. Just have 1 question. Let's get you on here. Let's hear what you have to say. Let's have it back and forth and then move on to the next person so we can have respect for everybody who might want to come on. So I put it
make it quick, pal. Make it quick or I'll fire your ass.
Is that Vince from the Fiend stuff, or is that a different Vince?
So this is like old school, like 80s Vince.
Oh yeah, the big WWF logo. I should have given me away.
God damn it, pal.
That's who it's happening. All right, so right now the only Rollins is the first superstar to join WWE Raw men's. Okay, so here's the Survivor Series team for Raw. It's Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Mysterio, and his son Dominic. Oof, that is boring.
Oof,
that
sounds horrible. It sounds like the same team they always put together as well. Oof. Like it's always Kevin Owens, it's always Seth Rollins, always Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
And then the other team's going to have what? Drew McIntyre. And
probably.
I don't fucking know.
Why isn't Edge in this or AJ? So weird. All right. Anyway, we'll come back to it to see who the SmackDown team is for sure as this goes along. Let's see here. We got any more Streamlabs or Super Chats? No, come on. Send them in, folks. Send in some support for the show. You see the Streamlabs address. They're on the screen and also in the description of the video and pinned in the chat. So, all right. Anything else we need to cover on these releases here, Aaron?
Hold on, let me check. I want to check one more thing.
Sure. And as he's doing that, we got 98 of you all watching us right now. So please hit a like on this video right now. Hit that like button so that we get as many likes as possible before we end the show, and send in your Streamlabs and Super Chats. And I put the address there in the chat if you want to come in live and give us your 2 cents on what you think was going on behind the scenes on these releases. Sorry, Aaron, what were we going to say?
I'm good. I thought I had something else, but I don't.
Okay. All right. Now we got to move on to where you think any of these people are going to end up. I think we should take a few minutes. What do you think? Karrion Kross, where does he go?
Anywhere he fucking wants.
Okay.
It's not gonna be Impact. I can tell you that because they had a bad fallout there.
Yeah.
With management, I don't know if management's different in Impact now. I'm not sure, but they can go anywhere they want. Anywhere they want.
Okay.
Same with Keith Lee. Go anywhere he wants.
Wow.
Write his own ticket. Like, how do you fuck that up?
Yeah.
I think that Nia Jax.
Okay.
You're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
I think Ember Moon will be fine. I think Taya Valkyrie will be fine. Oni Lorcan, he'll be fine. I think that like Jessie Kamea, she never really showed anything, so I don't know if she's going to be okay. I mean, I hope she is. Eva Marie, you're done.
Stop doing wrestling. Just go be an influencer. Stop doing wrestling. Yeah.
Metalik and Lindsay, I mean, they can kind of do anything they want to. Harry Smith, like, how do you miss on Harry Smith?
Yeah.
Oh God, B-Fab. I don't know what the future holds. It doesn't seem promising. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
And the people that were released from NXT outside of Katrina Cortez, I don't know. I don't know enough about him. I know that Katrina Cortez could probably do something, but everybody else, I'm not sure.
Is there a jewel here, the hidden jewel, a diamond in the rough here that you think could catch on somewhere and really kind of show and become a star?
I think Oni Lorcan could be that guy.
Okay.
Because Oni Lorcan always has entertaining matches. And if you saw his stuff before he got to NXT, it was Biff Busick, I believe was his name.
Yeah.
Guy has good matches, man. One of the best matches I ever saw in NXT was just a random match between Andrade and Oni Lorcan. It was fucking awesome. So I think he could be your diamond. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good suggestions there. All right. I don't see anybody who's come in. So let's move on to our next thing. Aaron, what have we got?
All right, so we're going with some sad but hopeful news.
Yeah.
That Jon Moxley, former AEW and WWE World Heavyweight Champion, has entered an alcohol inpatient rehabilitation center.
Yeah.
And I want to read Tony Khan's tweet about it, and then we can discuss it from there.
Okay.
He said, Jon Moxley has allowed me to share with you that he's entering an inpatient alcohol treatment program. Jon is a beloved member of the AEW family. We stand with him, Renee, and all of his family and friends as he shifts his focus to recovery. Jon is making a very brave choice to get help, and we are embracing his choice and supporting him however we can.
Yeah,
I'm proud to call Jon a friend, and like many of you, I'm also a fan of Mox and look forward to a time in the future when he is eventually ready to return to the ring. Until then, thank you for supporting Jon and respecting his privacy at this time. So,
yeah.
Man, that's a lot. That's beyond wrestling. That's like even as myself, a person that hasn't really liked his work as of late.
Yeah.
I feel for the guy, and I the fact that Jon Moxley said, you know what, something's wrong. I need to take control of this, even if it means leaving my home, which they're leaving Las Vegas and I guess moving to Ohio.
Wow,
which is interesting.
Okay,
he's got a brand new baby, he's got a wife, he's got interest outside of pro wrestling, and whatever's the trigger. I mean, there's got to be some trigger. I don't know if it's like some past trauma. I don't know if it's wrestling and the injuries and stuff that's getting to him. I don't know. I shouldn't even speculate it, but I feel for the guy. I hope he gets the help that he needs. I hope he gets better soon. And if he doesn't want to, after when it's all said and done, he's like, you know what, wrestling's just not for me. It's fine. It's totally fine. So what do you think here?
I think it's a great decision by him to go and get help. Sometimes so much the world of professional wrestling, the world of sports overall is about being the macho guy in the room, being able to handle your stuff and whatever. And that, if you admit any kind of weakness or you go to rehab, it's not necessarily, it means you can't handle your shit. And I like that more and more people and more of these people involved in these situations are willing to be like, you know what, I need to get some help. And, spending time with Renee watching her in the WWE, listening to her podcast post WWE, she's an intelligent, conscientious woman who probably had hit that limit with Jon and said, like, you need help. We've got to get you help. I can't keep cleaning up after you when you go in these places. And it isn't help because I need you to be I need you to be better for yourself, not for me, then better for us. That's the path of rehab. It's not about, let me get better for my partner, because then your partner, something can happen to your partner, or you guys could break up. Then you've pinned all your thing on them. And what you have to do in rehab is take care of yourself first, go through the path, find out where all that's coming from, come to terms with it, and then grow into being a better partner, a better friend, a better wrestler, and be a great voice for the younger generations coming up who are confused and not sure, and be a resource and a mentor for them to not do the things that you did, or to see the signs and take steps. So to me, this is a great thing. Moxley's a high-profile guy. CM Punk took a moment in his promo to call him out and give him some love and have the crowd chant for him. So there's genuine affection for Jon in the business. And clearly last week we were talking about how we felt like he was getting lost in the shuffle here. Mm-hmm. And maybe there was stuff going on behind the scenes, Aaron, where they felt he was not in the position for them to hand them a bigger spotlight for those titles. And a bit so because of what was maybe happening. So him taking this step here, I think, is a positive thing. And I hope it leads to him coming to terms with what's going on with him and getting out of it, and finding his way out of it and having a sober life, because that's one of the hardest things drug or alcohol addicted people can accept, is that they have to become sober, fully sober. And that's not an easy thing to do, man.
Yeah, man. It, like I said, it's bigger than wrestling. You put the nail on the head there when you were talking about, you just kind of have to look at yourself, and you have to figure that out on your own. And it's just, I can't imagine how difficult it is to be a guy that's on top.
Yeah.
You're on top in this big company. You have a book coming out. It's got a new baby. You got all the lights on you. And you're like, you know what? I got to go. That's hard. That's tough, man. I wish more people could do that. And, get themselves together, and you can't. And, let me share also what Renee Paquette said, his wife.
Yes, please.
She said, thanks for this outpouring of support. Jon is every bit of the badass we all know him to be. I couldn't be more proud of him for getting proper help he needs and being given the space to put his health first. Couldn't possibly love this man more.
Wow. Dude, so many people don't have someone like that in their corner when they're going through some of the darkest points in their lives, when they're having to go into rehab. And so Moxley is very blessed to have someone like Renee and issue a statement like that of real dedication and support to him and wanting what's best for him. And that's an essential tool to have that not a lot of people have when they go into rehab, Aaron. So it's great to see her issue that statement. And clearly she's going to be there for the long haul to make sure he comes out of this thing and he can stay on the straight and narrow in terms of his sobriety.
And how many times have we seen the story in wrestling, the alcoholism, the drug addicts, these people that just don't have a good life, or they end up dead early and stuff like that. And for him to, see that and see that, hey, I'm going towards a downward spiral. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's a good thing. And I think we should all support it, however you fall on the fence, it doesn't matter. It's bigger than wrestling. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Jon Moxley fan, but I support him 100% in this. Right. And you never want to see anybody like this. And you hope that this is what turns it around. Yeah. And unfortunately, like as a friend of mine once told me, who also he's a recovering drug addict, sober for I think 5 or 6 years now. Mm-hmm. He said, once you're an addict, you're always an addict. So you're always fighting. It's an uphill fight every single day. Mm-hmm. But he's like, does it get easier? Maybe. He's like, I'm not sure, but it feels easier, and that's enough for me. So
agreed. 1,000% agreed. Yeah. It's I think you can add more than that. We got a couple of people who want to come in. Aaron, let's bring them in here. Let me take the banner down and bring them in. First is Adrian Bailey. What's up, Adrian? How are you, man? What do you got to say?
What's up, dude?
Hi, John. Hello, Aaron. How are you?
Good, buddy.
Good.
What's up? I just want to talk about the NXT releases. What I'm thinking is I could be wrong here, so correct me if I am. Is Vince destroying everything Triple H created within that business? He's took him down. Only a select few have gone through to Raw and SmackDown to have great careers like Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, etc. But the likes of Keith Lee, Karrion Kross have been released. Adam Cole goes to AEW. Christian Cage as well. I know he's not NXT, but as another legend. I was just thinking, what are your thoughts on my opinion? Really?
Yeah, Aaron.
I think that I don't understand what's the issue between Triple H and Vince? Like, why is this happening? Because Triple H did such a good job. Is it like ego? Is that what it is? Because it's like people just there for a while. Like NXT was the best. I think the best wrestling. I think it's better than the main roster. I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah.
And I think that Vince like took that personally. He's like, "How dare you, pal? Like try to take my own company out from under me." And I don't know because. But on the other hand, I don't know because, like, what is the Performance Center again? Like, what?
Right.
Like, we're building these people to teach them our style, to teach them to be better wrestlers and better promos, and then we bring them up, and then we just end up cutting their ass when we don't give them time to blossom. I don't fucking get it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Keith Lee. I've watched him since from NXT, and a man his size is very athletic and he can fly. So a man like that, they change his name to Bearcat, give him a new entrance music and just cut him. Bye, we don't need you anymore. You can go, you're fired, get out, basically. Karrion Kross, another one. Not so much a high flyer, but he could have been like a multiple-time world champion, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, and it's a great, and you know, when you look, I'm looking at some of these reports from back in August when some of the releases happened here that were NXT related as well. And according to Dave Meltzer, Paul Levesque and Shawn Michaels didn't have anything to do with the cuts. It was done by Vince, Bruce Pritchard, and John Laurinaitis. The basic gist that NXT is going to change. In some ways, they think that a lot of the competitors are too small and too old. So we're back. We're back to the 80s Vince thing where he likes them to be big dudes. And remember, and you know, Aaron, we just reviewed last week that last episode, Dark Side of the Ring, from this current season. And it was all about this idea of whether Vince was willing to go with the smaller dudes, which worked out for him for the most part post the steroid trials with like Shawn and a little bit of Brad and other Edge, you know, these guys that were a little bit thinner, carrying the banner through the Attitude Era as well. And so, yeah, maybe this is something where he's coming back into the old way of thinking where it's the bigger dudes and going for the younger guys, and maybe going for the younger people because you can pay them less and they'll work harder to prove themselves to you. You can take advantage of them by having them work more hours or having them do more things. They're less likely to push back. And so maybe this is the approach that has worked, a tried and true approach that has worked for him for years. And trust me, he's not the only one who runs a business that likes to go for the young people because they cause him less drama and less of a headache. That happens with a lot of people who run businesses overall. They think they can take advantage of younger people. So is that part of this too?
Yeah, but just before I go, John, you just mentioned Shawn Michaels. I think the man's about 5'10", 5'11". Mr. WrestleMania, a legend within the business, and he's saying big guys are the only way to go. I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that. Look at NXT 2.0, mostly small men. So I just don't understand his way of thinking.
Well, he already put Braun Breaker in with Ciampa, and Ciampa had to give him like 2,500 finishers before he finally finished him off. So he's setting up Braun to carry the belt. He knows Ciampa's a placeholder, a bookmark, and not much else. Yeah. So,
it's like I say, the select few, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, small people, well, not the women, but the gentlemen are small. Yeah. Small, like, I think Kevin Owens is about 6 foot. He's only held the Universal title once, what I can remember.
Right. Yeah. Right.
He lost it to Goldberg at Fastlane a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. And look at speaking of releases, like look at Braun Strowman. Like to think of Vince McMahon's way of thinking, like, is that not a prototypical Vince McMahon guy? Right. Big muscle guy that like looks the part, is athletic enough to like hold a good match if he wanted to, like looks intimidating, could be a baby face or a heel. You could have made millions and millions and millions of dollars with Braun Strowman. He got rid of him. So I don't know what the hell. You could have restructured that contract. Like what the hell? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. It's
I hate to be any kind of ageism against him. But no offense to Vince, he's had this time retire and give someone else a chance to win the business. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah,
I know.
You call me old pal.
What is he now? 73, 74?
Yeah. 77.
He's made his money, hasn't he? 77, is he?
You're gonna have to pry it from his cold dead hands, man. It's like Charlton Heston said.
It's like his song goes, "There's no way in hell."
76. Yeah.
It's like his theme song goes, "There's no chance in hell."
Exactly.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thanks. Thank you, Adrian. Always good to see you, brother, man. Thanks for coming in.
Bye.
All right, we got someone else coming in. Says John Rocha says, I don't know. He took my title. He took my name. So I don't know who that is, but he took my name. Who is this? What's up, man?
Sorry, I don't know how to use Streamlabs. So I thought I was looking for you. So that's why your name. Sorry.
Well, tell us your name and what's up.
Just call me Ed.
Ed? Okay, Ed.
Yeah, well, I'm Senior Nerd. I'm the guy that was always on the chat.
Oh, Senior Nerd. What's up, dude? What's going on, Ed?
Yeah, hi. So just pretend I say Senior Nerd.
Okay, sounds good. Senior Nerd.
Okay. So the releases. Yeah, I'm still baffled with all of them. Ones that didn't surprise. Well, no, Nia Jax kind of didn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, wait, she's the cousin of The Rock and Roman. I thought you're safe for life. If you're the cousin of The Rock and Roman Reigns.
Samoan immunity.
Right.
Yeah. And can you stand up there? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. What?
You all right?
Sorry. Sorry. Hold on. I'll be right back.
You gotta go? Okay.
Yeah,
looks like Vince showed up. To see the nerd.
Vince is knocking at the door, pal.
All right, let's bring on Christian Ramos, who's waiting to come on as well. Christian, what's up, dude?
Hey guys, how y'all doing today?
What's up, bro?
Thanks.
I'm shocked because I have a podcast where I do wrestling stuff and I review this stuff like you guys do, right? And I'm looking at all the guys they released within the last 2-3 years. These are top tier talent. It's not like they're releasing just, no offense, jobbers or people that are just doing a job. They're releasing guys that are worth money. Bray Wyatt, you're Karrion Kross, who I thought was going to push the moon at NXT, and all of a sudden he just died on the main roster in a crash and burn on this debut episode. And again, everyone has this old thing like let it breathe, give it a chance. I've let many things breathe since 2016.
Yeah, brother.
People call me an AEW shill because I call out WWE's nonsense. I call out AEW as well. I don't play favorites. If I see something that's not right, I'm gonna just call out on it. But the tribalism online does not allow people to just talk about it like a critique. I took film in college. You have to learn how to take criticism. It's part of the whole how to make the art better. You can't just rely on your laurels and never grow. You have to get out of that comfort zone and actually grow.
Right.
So I don't know who I'm more shocked of because they released B-Fab, who just got a contract call up on SmackDown. Like, what is going on here? Nothing makes any sense anymore. So
just throw your hands in the air, dude. It's all you can do. I don't get it.
It really is. And I'm watching this show and I watch every week and I'm always looking at things that stand out. And you guys give your opinion freely. Unlike other podcasters, nothing to throw shade. You guys definitely know what to say and put it out there because you're not afraid of people telling you, oh, you're this or that, because you can tell them to go fuck themselves. You know?
It's called the Outlaw Nation for a reason, man.
That's right. And that's the best part about it is you can come here.
No one's dick, son. We tell truth here. That's what we're all about. So yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I appreciate the time.
Hold on, Christian. What's your, before you go, what is your number one? Now, you mentioned B-Fab, you mentioned what's the number one shocking release for you, whether it's this one or from the last batch? What's your number one right now that you still can't get past in your head?
All right, from every batch. Braun Strowman was the first batch in 2019, right?
Right.
That was a huge one. He's a former world champion. He's a Vince guy, body guy, big, meaty, tall guy. I thought he was going to be a lifer just like Big Show was at the time, or like, guys like Kevin Nash before he got hurt. Like then Bray Wyatt from the previous batch, he is your number one moneymaker because Vince doesn't like him. No offense, Vince, but your opinion doesn't matter if he's making you bank. Like he's the reason you're staying afloat. He was the only guy people I knew that got out of wrestling were watching wrestling because he was a specific horror / storytelling character. It wasn't about his ring work. It was the storytelling that Bray does. Now he's off in Hollywood making who knows what, movies, TV shows, or whatever in Warner Brothers Studios. They saw a picture on Backlot. Yep. I'm excited to see what he puts out there. I'm going to support whatever he does. And then this batch, Karrion Kross and Keith Lee, the two top guys at NXT that I watched before 2.0 came in I don't want to say anything bad or negative, but you know what I mean. Black and gold forever. The 2.0 show is not doing it for me.
No.
And if it is for some people, that's cool. But when it came to Black and Gold, it was Ciampa, Gargano, Undisputed Era, Keith Lee, and Karrion Kross were the ones that stood out the most in the last couple of years. So you get rid of all the shiny toys that Triple H had and kind of bring in these people that are more Vince guys. Like, there's something going on we don't know. And I don't know what's going on, but there'll be a documentary about this in a couple of years, and we'll see when all of it hits its fan.
It could be a Dark Side of the Ring episode. That could be something.
it could be a whole season at this point.
I'm just sad we don't have John Schnepp here for the history of WWE and what happened.
That would have been awesome. You're right about that. All right, Christian, always great to see you, man. Love the setup. Respect. And picture stuff. What's your podcast people can listen to if they wanted to?
Oh, my podcast is CJR Media Reviews. I'm on everything, Spotify, Apple, whatever you look for. I call myself the Puerto Rican Kaiju because I'm a monster on the microphone.
Hey, now.
I love that. I love that. Respect. All right, go and follow him in all things CJR Reviews. All right, thanks, brother.
Take care.
Peace, Christian. Yeah. All right, we got one more person waiting to come on in here. That's Justin Toner, one of my patrons, one of my favorite guys in the Outlaw Nation. Justin, what's up, dude?
Hey, guys.
What's up, bro?
Good to see you, Aaron.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Do we have heat? I don't recall.
Do you have heat? No.
Okay, we don't have heat. Okay.
No.
All right.
No, it's like we've talked on Twitter. It's like
okay. All right, we don't have heat then.
Yeah. Oh man, guys, I tell you that when these cuts came out yesterday, I was just like, what the flying fuck? Really? It's like the Keith one was the one that shocked me the most because it's like everyone's saying like how did they screw that up? It's like he was one of my favorite guys the last few years to come out of NXT, and it's just like other people, I just don't know what the hell I don't know what they're thinking or what they're doing over there. It just doesn't make any freaking sense right now.
Yeah.
The Mia Yim one, it was also disappointing, but that one didn't surprise me that much because she's been off TV for months. It's obvious they didn't know what the hell to do with her, which is ridiculous because she's very talented.
Yeah.
It's just baffling. It's like it's so hard, especially because like the internet community, especially people who like follow the business, they're just like it's like you want to pull their hair out. Like what? It's like what are they doing over there? It's like
what do you think is happening? Like I know you're restating everything we've said, Justin, but what do you think is happening? What do you feel is going on behind the scenes? Where's your head at about this?
I don't think it's a sale. I think it's some kind of like streamline. I think just to make the thing make them more profitable. I think.
You think Khan is behind all this, even though they're saying Laurinaitis and Pritchard and McMahon?
Well, I don't think it's coincidence that these super massive amounts of cuts this year have happened since he took over his position. So I don't think it's that much of a coincidence.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's obvious that these are like not like heavily planned. Like B-Fab getting a new contract a week ago for the main roster, and then she's cut. That shows that this is not like pre-planned. This is like kind of like almost like at a all right. We need to cut some more weight. Let's see, who can we afford to get rid of? No, we can afford to be without. It shows that it just shows that they're not really pre-thinking this like long term. It's just more like a okay, we need to trim the fat here. Let's
you're saying we need to do this for now. We need to get rid of people now, and then we'll focus down the road on maybe bringing some of these people back. And certainly they brought Samoa Joe back after they had let him go.
Yeah.
Remember that. So that's a possibility. I want to add something more here. This comes to us from ringsidenews.com on November 4th. WWE also fired several office employees this week as the company's employee purge continues. Most of them were corporate employees. PW Insider reported that 15-year company veteran Stan Stansky was among those let go. Stansky was the senior vice president of creative services. That's a high-level job. Which is apparently, according to some of their sources here, was quite a shock. And one person describes Stansky's departure as, quote, the ultimate proof that no one is safe. And yet another reminder, this isn't the same company. It was a year ago. He had been there with them since 2006. He was initially hired as the vice president of creative services, then promoted to senior vice president. So there was a number of these releases that were happening, not just in-ring talent, but also behind the scenes. So
Glad you brought that up, John, because that reminds me that there's been a lot of people that have left from from behind the scenes in the last year.
Right.
People who've been there a long time have either willingly left or just like let go.
Yeah.
They also let a lot of people behind a lot of producers were let go, like Lance Storm, a lot of other people who had good knowledge of how to train people and how to produce stuff behind the scenes. But yeah, there's reports that the Petey Williams was apparently at Raw this past week, trying out to be join the Raw team as a producer behind the scenes guy. So it's that's other more evidence of that they're trying to streamline stuff. Yeah. It's if it was just about
the wrestlers,
it was just the wrestlers, that's one thing, but also they're shedding people out of the offices as well. Yeah. And there's a lot. So there's some major restructuring going on that we don't fully understand. There people who think I get the speculation about the sale, but it's that place would not sell while Vince is alive. Vince will never let it go while he lives.
Oh, no shit.
He will never. It's even though he got it from his dad, this is his baby. He made, which is fair to say, he made WWE what it is today. It's if it wasn't for the moves he did in the 80s with Hogan and everything, it's wrestling as we see it today would not exist. As much as you may hate Vince for some of the things he does, it's you got to give him credit where credit's due for what he created with pro wrestling, good and bad. So he's not going to let it go while he's alive.
When WWF and WCW were the midst of the Monday Night Wars, where they thought that WWF was going to go out of business, they thought that was going to happen. Vince took the fucking water coolers out of Stanford's building. They did that to save money and do all this stuff. If they're really hurting this bad to where they have to cut this or that, maybe don't have catering or something. I don't fucking know. Live events used to be the bread and butter of these companies, of wrestling companies, WCW, WWE. Live events is where they get their gate. They don't have that anymore because of the TV deals. They don't need to run live events.
They don't need to.
So stop running live events. Stop doing it. It's a great I don't know. It just point. Seems to, I'm not I don't have an MBA, but it just seems like there's just better ways to cut, if it is budget cuts, to cut around it rather than cut talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys know, I mean, when we were cut, we were let go at Collider, it was about saving money. They felt that the video division was not doing well, that it wasn't pulling in the views that they needed it to pull. And we were cut on January 2nd. Me, Riley, a couple of the production guys, we were just let go. The entire video division was essentially put on ice. And that's the way it goes. That's the kind of shocking way it can happen when you don't see it coming, because people had gotten into Fernandez's ears about the financial situation, about how much money he was losing, and he finally pulled the plug, which is right. He's the owner. But the surprise of it all was shocking. It's the same thing here. All these people getting fired because of quote budget cuts. It's to streamline. And then what does he end up doing a year later? He sells the fucking company a year later because he's not making money anyway. So it's a crazy situation when you look at it. You just never know if people take it they don't understand how to run a business. They'll start losing the money. Vince obviously knows. And so he's got in a situation here though, where I think he's making some strong decisions here, and Vince has never been afraid to be hated. That's one of the gifts of Vince McMahon, and one of the reasons why he's super successful. And a lot of people are successful who can remove that gene, remove that idea. Oh, I'm hated. They can be very successful because they have a very clear goal of where they want to be. And I have a feeling that when this is all over, Vince is going to be sitting there with more money and in a better situation with a streamlined company. And people are going to forget all about this down the road. I guarantee you.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. Success.
That's the sad part.
Success breeds amnesia. Always. Always.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Anything else, Justin?
One more.
Okay.
Of the people who've been let go just yesterday,
who
would you want to see most AEW pick up if they can?
Ember
Moon. I would say Ember would definitely. I think Ember and Mia would be great pickups for their women's division.
The women's division is not that good in AEW, so go get Ember Moon for fuck's sake.
If they got Mia, Ember Moon, and Taya Valkyrie, their women's division would get such an insane boost of talent.
That's a great
point.
Because
it's still. I mean, it's gotten better. It's still a little thin once you get past a couple of the top names that they have.
Right.
And there's some of them I was watching Rampage last night. That that match between the Bunny and Red Velvet, not
Kill
good.
Me. Kill
No,
me.
yeah, it was god awful.
Yeah,
it's like they have a lot of work to do with their women's division, so they got some good people in there. Right. Britt Baker, Sheeta, Soho's been okay,
but then it's a drop, dude. It's a drop.
It's a drastic drop.
It's a drastic drop.
Yeah,
in talent. Like Ty Conte and Anna Jay are pretty good too, but but once you get past them, it's like they got a lot of like young green people that are like either okay or absolutely horrible in the ring. So getting those three would be like a massive steroid infusion.
Yeah, and they're going to need him to. They're going to need him to support that other women's belt on TBS. The TBS
exactly.
It's true that they're heading towards. Yeah, that's a great.
Yeah, they got the tournament going on. They're basically getting the women's division's getting their own IC belt basically at this point. Yeah, so it's like they definitely need more people. So
agreed.
And Keith Lee would be just fantastic in AEW.
Wherever he lands, he would be fine. Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Thanks, Justin. I appreciate your time, brother. Always good to see you, brother, man.
It was good to see you guys.
All right, everyone. All right, we got a super chat come in here from Stellar Justin Lopez, who says, "Will there be anyone left for the Royal Rumble match?" Man, it's hard to invest in WWE when they're getting rid of people just like that.
I'm telling you, dude. You're right. You're right. Like, what is the Royal Rumble now? Like, 30 men and women? Like, fuck. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to do. I don't know. Could you imagine not doing it?
Oh my god!
Could you imagine not doing the Royal Rumble?
I can't imagine that they would ever not do the Royal Rumble. They would even. I bet they would just sign people for one night just so they could have a Royal Rumble.
That's true.
I wouldn't put it past them doing that. They've done it before to flesh it out and get some reactions from people. All right, we got one more live person coming in here. J-Dog, what's going on, brother man?
Hey guys, 100 talents being released in one calendar year for the WWE. I think there's going to be an eventual sale, but I think the reason why is this: with the budget cuts, it's their budget being cut, the talent, not WWE. That's just a corporate speakeasy, if you will. That's just corporate spin. Yeah. So I think going forward, it's a youth movement, as you guys mentioned, for WWE in terms of Taya Valkyrie's my age. She's 38. So it's going to be people that are younger for sure. Yeah. And also budget cuts going forward, I think will happen on the travel side going to the Europe tours. They're going to stick with the Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, the guys that can make money. And then it's sink or swim for these younger talents. So I see it happening that way going forward with the WWE. You've got as you said, you've got your headliners like Roman Reigns, like Drew McIntyre, like Randy Orton, the old reliable guys. And when I mean old, I mean they've been veterans in the business for a long time, and you know who they are. There's notoriety there.
Yeah.
And then down the line in the B/C+ shows or the B/C towns across the country or around the world, it's up to the lower tiered talent to try to make up for that going down the line, because the Peacock deal has been really beneficial to the company, obviously, with NBC Universal buying it and the library.
Right.
And also everything that falls into that makes it more palatable, because pay-per-view buys they don't have to be the number one be-all end-all anymore, because they've got Peacock essentially as that backup, giving all that cash to Vince.
It's a great point. Point.
Man. Thank you. I needed a little clarity and you gave it to me. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, I've always feel like I have like some sort of, being a fan for a long time, like not knowing the inner workings at all, but just like having some sense of where we're going. Like when they acquire talent and they get rid of people, okay, I get it. But it's like, you never see them get rid of this caliber of talent. Like, people that they've been holding on to the roster for like 10 years, like I don't mean to be rude, but like Zack Ryder and like people like that they really were not doing anything with for years.
Yeah.
I understand why they would get rid of somebody like that. But like Braun Strowman and Keith Lee, like fuck, man. Like, you got me.
And there's no like logical process that you can make sense of, or else we wouldn't be on here trying to speculate so much, because you say youth movement, but then a lot of these people that have been cut are younger wrestlers who are trying to come in and get and make a name for themselves. Then you say the vaccination status. Well, that's not been 100% confirmed. Then you say budget cuts, but they're making money. So there's all kinds of stuff that you just like, this seems willy-nilly. This seems like they've just like Vince, we got to cut some people. Here's the list of everybody. Here are our recommendations. You make the final call. And it seems like that's probably what went down. And they came up with a whole list, and we're like, who's getting? And Vince is like, not over, maybe, not over. It feels like that's what he did.
Give me Roman Reigns.
He also cut catering. Don't forget that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Cut the catering. We're going to keep Roman. We're going to keep Seth. Those 4 women, the horse women. Fuck the rest.
That's it. And when Ronda comes back, we'll give her a lot of money, of course.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
ridiculous.
We're going to talk about that next. We're going to talk about that next.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Jay. Anything more? Or are you good?
Enjoy Rocky 4 this Thursday in theaters. Do you guys have your tickets or no?
Hell yes.
I don't go to theaters anymore.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Guys, I have to go all the way to Boston to do it because I'm here in Concord, New Hampshire, and they don't have the theater. They have a theater, but they're not playing it there. They're playing it in Londonderry, and I have no way, as you know, I don't drive. I have no way of getting a bus service on Veterans Day to Concord to Londonderry. I have to go now to Regal Fenway in Boston on Veterans Day. I have to take Concord coach bus on Veterans Day at 3 p.m., go to Boston, watch the movie. As you know, Stallone's going to have a Q&A after that from his home in Beverly Hills.
Yep.
And then I'm pulling an all-nighter. I'm going to go to a diner in Boston, sleep in the bus station, or just, just kind of, go on the internet, check stuff out, and then get on the bus and go back to Concord and then get back to work. So.
Jesus Christ.
Damn, man. I appreciate your devotion.
Please.
Drago!
That's what I'm saying. For the love of God, will you detail this on your social media and tag Stallone and everything? I guarantee you, he will see it at some point. I guarantee if you're making this kind of effort to see this movie, that's 35 years old or 25. Like, Jesus Christ, he should give you something, for God's sake. So
I hope so.
Detail it. All right. Thanks, bud. Much later. Always good to see you, Jay.
See you,
yep.
Good stuff from J Dog. I love seeing him in.
He's great, man.
Dude. Love it. All right, Stellar. Justin, he got another one here. He said, sorry about that, Stellar. I'll bring it back up. I blocked him on accident. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
I got trigger happy. Let me read you. You'll be back in 5 minutes. Sorry, Stellar. He said, I kind of knew Keith Lee's days were numbered once Odyssey Jones started working dark matches. He's a lot younger and has the size of Lee. Do you agree with that?
It's a fair assessment. It's a fair assessment because Odyssey Jones, to me, has like the look of Mark Henry with like the dreads, and he's big and he's thick.
Yeah.
But he has like the jovial, like he's a really good guy, and I feel like he can talk on the microphone, where Keith Lee was lacking on the microphone. And I don't think Vince liked when Keith Lee, like this big hulking guy, would be like, well, I talk like I'm a philosopher. I'm very soft-spoken in Keith Lee. And that's just how he talks. It's whatever.
Right.
But it's not enough to like menace people. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. No, I don't disagree.
You could be right. You could be onto something.
He's an intimidating guy. Maybe Vince is like, I only have room for one big black guy. I can have 35 big white dudes, but I only have room for one big black guy. So maybe that's his approach mentally. And for those of you who don't know who he is, let me put up a big picture to let you know about Odyssey Jones. So this is him right there. I mean, that's the kind of size, essentially the same size as Keith Lee and what have you. So no surprise that he's making the decision. Maybe you are right. Maybe that is the path that they're walking here. Only one big black guy per class, maybe in their minds. All right. Let's see. We're getting more Streamlabs or Super Chats. No. And Stellar Justin Lopez. I'm sorry. I hope you come back in the next couple of minutes and we'll be fine. But where shall we go to next, Aaron? And when we finish this next block, we'll talk about the teams. They'll be fully released by then and we'll have our thoughts. Go ahead, man.
Fucking hell. Okay. AEW, we're going to light the fuse. We're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. I'm just going to give you the results. Then we can talk about things that we liked and maybe some stuff we didn't. Kenny Omega defeated Alan Angels in a return match. These guys had a hell of a match a couple of years ago, which really put Alan on the map, got him a job. FTR defeated Aerostar and Samurai Del Sol, a.k.a. Callisto, former WWE superstar. The Inner Circle and the American Top Team had a nice segment. I'm going to go back to that, put a pin in that one. Jamie Hayter defeated Anna Jay to advance in the TBS title tournament. MJF brawls with Darby Allin, and it rocked, as it says in my notes here. Andrade El Idolo defeated Cody Rhodes with help. And Miro, who replaced Jon Moxley in the World Title Eliminator Tournament, defeated Orange Cassidy, as he should have, to advance to the finals of the tournament against Bryan Danielson. So a SummerSlam rematch right there. So anything stick out to you here in this episode of AEW Dynamite?
Look, the number one thing is the promo. The number one thing is CM Punk's promo and everything that went down with it. That was incredible. Okay. That was a fantastic thing to see. And, we were saying like, well, how long is this undefeated thing going to last? Is he really getting the right people in front of him? Well, we got it. We got it. This was fantastic. Should have gone all night. It was so good. So great to see CM Punk. He seems to be, as we've said before, he seems to be every week kind of finding his rhythm step by step, piece by piece. And this was a fantastic promo that he delivered. Really enjoyed the Darby Allin match as well. I thought that was fantastic with MJF. That surprised me. I did not expect them to have good chemistry. I did not expect them to connect the way that they did, and they did it. So shout out to them. I hope there's more coming for sure. Miro coming in, doing his thing. So Miro versus Bryan Danielson, what does this mean? Are they setting him up? Possibly, because I can't see Danielson winning this match. Do you? I think it sets up Miro to possibly start moving up to the top chain here. Do you think that's what's happening?
If Miro won, you would have to give the title to Miro.
Yes.
You can't have Miro win because you're probably going to put it on Adam Hangman Page. But if you do have Miro win, that's a pretty good jumping off point to have Hangman's first feud is with Miro. That would be good. I would like that.
Okay.
Hangman versus Bryan Danielson right now at this point does not interest me.
Okay.
Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson again does not interest me.
Right.
And I don't think they would do Kenny Omega versus Miro. So I think the stars are aligning to where you're going to get Miro versus Hangman Adam Page because that sounds fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I'd be into that. And maybe we will go there because Miro looks like he's, finally getting back to kicking ass, even though he should have beat Orange Cassidy in less than 2 minutes. You really want to show this guy as a real badass. I know people love Orange Cassidy. I get it. The gimmick is stale for me, but Miro should have beat this guy in 2 minutes. That would have really set the tone for the trouble that Bryan Danielson is in and put him in some peril. So I'm interested in it. Full Gear is next weekend. So I'm definitely going to order it. I'm going to watch it. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. The other part of this thing that I really enjoyed was El Idolo. Let me tell you something. I have said that the big reasons why he didn't get over too much WWE was the mic work. His mic work against Cody has been stellar. I mean, him coming in, saying all this stuff, saying, I'll make you my little biche. Like, it's fucking awesome. It's finally working. All the stars are aligning, and this was a heck of a match. I thought this was damn good. He's always, he's been delivering good matches recently against him and Pac and whatever, but having him step up with Cody and the way they built up Cody and how this was all, he's been so busy. He's listened to Arn now and all this kind of shit. He's really in the right frame of mind. And then having him win, with a little bit of help, but still it sets Idolo in a path as well. So to me, this is exciting to see some diversity happening in the AEW and moving into positions where they can start vying for the top belts. And so this is great. I thought that, what did you think about El Idolo?
Getting better. I think his stock dropped a lot over the past couple months, but now that he's in a feud with Cody, he's aligned himself with Malachi. It's getting up there.
Yeah.
I'm not as sold on his mic work as you are, but that can change.
Okay.
As he keeps working on it and keeps doing stuff. He said that Cody's neck tattoo was stupid, and I agree. So there's that. But you can. The guy's a star. Like whether it's Sombra or Andrade Cien Almas, whatever. We've seen the dude's matches. He kicks ass. Like it doesn't surprise me that he's doing well. It's just what was AEW going to do with him? I don't think they knew what to do for a minute, but now they've kind of got it figured out. So good to see.
Yeah, good on you. All right. What stood out for you, man, overall?
Okay, I'm here to tell you, someone in the chat already tipped it off that I was going to say this, but Paige Vanzant, put her in the fucking ring. Put her in the fucking ring. I'm telling you, dude, because she could be a Ronda, dude. She could be a Ronda. She's got credit. She's a little small, but she's a straw weight, I think. But she's gorgeous. Yeah. She's got the cred. Like she's a UFC fighter. She'd beat your ass if she wanted to in real life. She actually has decent mic skills. Like people want her when she talks. She's like enough of a conniving heel where you would believe it. Get Paige Vanzant some training and put her in the damn ring, dude.
Yeah.
It's a layup. It's a layup.
Yeah.
Put her in there.
I don't disagree with you, especially when you've got other people talking shit about it. To have someone who actually wants to be a part of it is great to see. So I love the idea of Paige Vanzant being a part of this thing. Would be a lot of fun for sure. You mentioned the inner circle thing. Did you like this? Not like this? They revealed their full gear opponents. What did you think? As connected to Paige Vanzant.
I thought that Jericho got her back on the mic pretty good. It's pretty funny.
Yes.
As far as that goes, the fact that you're trying to compare Andre Arlovsky or Junior Dos Santos and Jake Hager's like MMA resumes is comical because those are two UFC heavyweight champions, and Jake Hager has been fighting tomato cans for years. So they're not even kind of the same. So that's weird. Like then again, with like someone that doesn't have the knowledge of that, you'd probably be like, okay, well, that makes sense. But you know, we're going to see Sammy Guevara. We're going to see him kick ass. We're going to see Santana Ortiz kick some ass. Everybody got their shots in, you know?
Yeah.
It just, is it going to be a good match? I don't know, because they're working with people that aren't workers. So that's always a concern. And they put Dan Lambert in the match, kind of like the manager of American Top Team, the owner. Yeah. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't expect a whole lot out of this one, but it will be fun to see how Paige gets involved. I think they wanted Dos Santos and like Arlovsky and Jorge Masvidal to be the stars of this feud, along with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Paige Vanzant has outshined them all, dude.
Yeah, man. They may be adjusting the approach now and focusing on Paige Vanzant more and using this as a launching pad for her. Why not? You know what I'm saying? It's happened many times in professional wrestling where you go in with one program thinking that person's going to be a star, and then it gets completely switched around and that other person's going to be a star. Look no further than Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. They were setting that up for Charlotte Flair to be the ultimate queen of the WWE, and Becky turning heel, becoming the man, changed everything. And don't tell me that isn't an element of the issues going on between them off camera as well. There is jealousy there. There's an ego. There's absolutely stuff that happens there. So this situation could be with, once again, a midstream kind of change, maybe, where it's Paige Vanzant who becomes the one they're elevating here rather than the two people they were looking to elevate when this whole thing started. So we shall see. Any comments on Anna Jay and Jamie Hayter? Did you think that was a good match?
Jamie Hayter should have won. Do I think it's a great match? No, I don't. They're both Jamie Hayter better than Anna Jay. Anna Jay learning will be good in a few years. I think will be quite good. It was okay. It was okay. That division still runs through Dr. Baker and Dr. Baker right here. And Thunder Rosa, and we haven't seen a lot of Ruby Soho. Like, I haven't seen a lot of her, and I'm like, what happened? I thought Ruby Soho was like the
great point.
The thing. What's going on?
Didn't we say if we rushed her into a title match, if she didn't win the belt, she was going to disappear for a bit?
And she did. Sure enough. And she has. I mean, the women's division does need some work. Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb are really showing they are also the class of that division, so they're also top tier in my opinion. It's so. Yeah. The Darby and MJF stuff was amazing.
That was great.
Because MJF just continues to, talk shit on the mic, and it's great. Then Darby ran at him like the Flash and tackled him. It was great. Just really enjoyed that from Darby. So that match is going to be fire. They're really setting up Full Gear to be something special, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and they have to, dude. This is the moment. They've got to grab the moment. WWE is a little bit on their heels. They're releasing people left and right. The public, the wrestling public is turning its attention towards AEW more and more. So you've got to now deliver these fantastic pay-per-views to get people to come on as permanent or longtime fans who are going to be okay to ride out some of the bumps that may happen as you're rising here. So they've got to do that. Any thoughts on Alan Angels? I mean, this is twice now where he's delivered a fantastic match against Kenny Omega. Is this just, a spike, or is this guy someone we're seeing that could be something in the future and has the pedigree to do that in the future?
I don't know, man. It seems like everybody they put in the Dark Order that has something good, they just leave them in the Dark Order. Like, they never break out.
That's a good point.
Like John Silver and Adam Cole last night, while I will admit that I'm not a fan of John Silver on the microphone, get that fucking microphone away from this guy. In the ring, like him and Adam Cole and Rampage last night tore down the house, dude. It was a great match. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. John Silver's never going to break out of the Dark Order. John Silver, no offense, is too small. He's very small. He's smaller than Adam Cole, and that's small. So I'm just saying, like, it's just not so good. It's not good. But like I said, I think the star of the Dark Order is Stu Grayson. And I think if anyone does break out, it is Stu Grayson that will do that. But it's just hard for me to get behind the Dark Order when they their nickname is the Dork Order in the IWC, and I totally get that. It doesn't work for me, but I don't see Alan Angels as I don't think he's to be your top tier guy. Could he be in the running for the TNT title? Could he have like a hell of a match with Sammy Guevara? Probably. Okay. Probably could. So you could probably see that in the future.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Anything else to talk about with AEW?
No, that's about it. I mean, I did, like I said, I watched Rampage. I concur with the match between Red Velvet and the Bunny. Like I've said many times, and she'll probably block me too on Twitter, but like I've never seen anyone like the Bunny, aka Allie, regress in wrestling in my life. Like, she was a women's world champion in Impact Wrestling, Knockouts champion. She had really compelling storylines. For the most part, I thought she was a decent wrestler. She comes to AEW, she's terrible. She's awful. You can't even watch her, and it's sad because she did some good stuff in the past. Right. This ain't it, man. This ain't it. But shout out, her husband, the Blade, Braxton Sutter, is also suffering from some mental health issues and taking a step back as well. So shout out to him for doing that. Get well soon, brother.
Absolutely. Respect there. All right. We got a Streamlab that came in from Justin Toner. It says, hey guys, forgot to list Thunder Rosa among the best in AEW's women's division. Certainly she had a moment last night coming in there to kick out the heels there. Also loving the MJF Darby feud. MJF is like a modern version of Roddy Piper on the mic. The heat he gets from the crowd is a joy to watch. Also liking what Shotzi said on SmackDown. Let's make a quick turn towards SmackDown. I think we already pretty much talked about it, so let's get your thoughts real quick on Shotzi. Because I think Reigns wasn't there last night, which is interesting. What did you think about the Shotzi promo? What did you think about how they're promoting Shotzi now and how they're pushing her? She looks almost completely different than what we had in NXT. What do you think about her now?
Well, she dropped the tank and she dropped the like spike jacket and the helmet for now. I think it'll come back.
Okay.
Shotzi is one of those people that you could work. I think she could work as babyface or heel. It doesn't really matter. I think she's somebody that you could put real good equity in because she sells a lot of merch.
Yeah.
She's a pusher. She's got a unique look. She's not a cookie cutter female in the WWE. That's for sure. She's not some blonde haired, big breasted woman. Well, I mean the first part, but I'm just saying like. She just doesn't have that. She looks different enough to where you're like, okay, I don't know what I have in her yet. So let's see if we can plug her into this role and see what happens. Okay. So I'm all in on Shotzi as I've been from day one. I think she's a great talent.
Yes, you
have. And while she's not the best wrestler, I'm not going to act like she's fucking Mae Young out there doing stuff or Ricky Steamboat, but she's improved quite a bit. She improved quite a bit too. So
there you go. Thanks, guys, for correcting me. You're right. Reigns was there last night. It was Charlotte and Sasha who were not there. And speaking of Charlotte, Empire Fan 1980 wants to know, do you think WWE will let Charlotte out of her contract? I doubt it. Do you think she wants to get out of her contract?
Yes. I think she's doing everything. I think she's doing everything she can to get fired. Everything. And WWE's like, yeah, right. Like, not happening. Not happening.
I'd be surprised, man. You're not going to make the money you're making in the WWE anywhere else.
She's a pillar of that company too, man. Like, I know people don't want to admit it, but like it's Reigns, it's Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Seth. They're holding up that company right now.
Yeah, right
now. Like the New Day, like they're all pillars of that company.
Right.
So they're not going to get rid of her. Like, if they don't have to.
Until the role model comes back, they got to hold on. They got to hold on until Bailey. Hello, ding dong. hello. She's ding coming dong, back.
Hello. It's on the t-shirt is on clear. It's on WWE shop. Ding dong. Hello. Get your shirts.
And she did tweet something. Bailey did. She said tweeted a quote from a book she was reading called Relentless. A cleaner never sees failure because to him it's never over. If something doesn't go as planned, he instinctively looks for options to make things work a different way. He doesn't feel embarrassed or ashamed. He doesn't blame anyone else, and he doesn't care what anyone else says about his situation. It's never the end. It's never over. So an interesting thing for her to quote here on the heels of the releases, maybe trying to keep trying to keep people uplifted and also maybe kind of motivate herself to come on back a little bit. Love the haircut in the back with the time. Woohoo! I can't wait till Bayley comes back. I think Bayley's going to come back and be what Becky Lynch was and is no longer, which is the man. I think absolutely she's going to come back and take over that spot and get the reaction from the fans that Becky Lynch did at the height of her the man status. I'm just going to put that out there. People can be mad at me what they want. I just have that sense that Bayley is building towards it, and also someone who is quite smart about how to use social media. All right.
I also wanted to
throw
in a quote. I meant to do this earlier when we were talking about the releases, but Vince McMahon, WWE will always find some way to justify it. And I will say this quote: "A tyrant will always find a pretext for his tyranny." So there you go.
That's a good point.
Take that to the bank.
There you go. Yes, absolutely. All right.
Put that on a t-shirt, guys. A tyrant will always find a pretext for his tyranny.
Great point. Sounds like an Outlaw Nation shirt. AJ Marshall says, which brand do you expect Bayley to go to possibly Raw? That's my opinion. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
Raw makes sense.
I agree.
Well, they lost Eva Marie. They lost like a huge chunk of the fucking roster.
That's true.
Not
All right.
true.
To wrap up the show, let's jump into this thing. Eva Marie is such a big part of the roster. Let's get into this real quick. The SmackDown men, their team is Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, Xavier Woods, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin.
Okay.
And with Madcap Riddick Moss along for the ride. Any thoughts on that? It seems like I don't know.
Seems like outside of Drew McIntyre and Xavier Woods sounds pretty weak.
Yeah. And then that's kind of all right, whatever. On the so Raw versus SmackDown on the women's side of things. With Raw, we have Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Carmella, and Zelina is the fifth, the queen herself. The Queen's crown or Queen's whatever it is.
It's like that went down. Like each person went down in athleticism and height. It was like it started out strong, but then it fucked up at the end.
Although I would move Carmella ahead of Liv if we're going on the downward trajectory there. On the SmackDown side of things, it is Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler, as well. Shotzi got in there. Natty. Oh my God!
Damn it!
What does I need to know what Natty has? Aaliyah has joined the team as well. That's kind of a surprise.
Right,
so
Aaliyah.
shout out to
that just
her.
tells you SmackDown has nobody. SmackDown's got nothing.
Because they've let everybody go.
And where's Alexa Bliss?
She is on vacation right now. She is handling her thing. They're putting her away for now because of the end of her match with Charlotte. I think they're just waiting for a little while to bring her back with a new gimmick. And so what? Let her have time with her man. She's happy. She's happy if you follow her on social media. But look, this could be a fantastic thing. But then you thought, why? I need to know what Natty knows. I really need to know what Natty has on people. No offense to Natty wanting to, kind of have a life and whatever and be successful in this business, but I just don't get it. It's like how I felt about Kane. When Kane would come out towards the end, I was like, why Kane? For God's sakes. I feel this way about Natty.
Justin Toner nails it.
Tony Storm.
Tony Storm, yeah. Not Natty. And Murder Rata nails it too. She's a heart. That's all that matters. She's a legacy. She's a heart. There you go. That's all you need. That's all you need.
I guess so. All right. Anything else to say, man? Or are we getting out of here?
I think you forgot the Raw men.
Did I? No, I said the Raw men earlier. Remember?
You did. Okay.
Rollins and do you want me to read it for you again? I'll read it for you.
Rollins,
again.
Kevin Owens.
It's hold on, let me see. It's Rollins, Rollins, Finn Balor, Owens, Rey Mysterio, and Rey's son Dominic.
Oh,
remember the reaction? Do you remember?
Kind of. Oh yeah. That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, there you go. And you talk about the youth movement. Why is Natty on the team and not Tony Storm if they're supposedly a youth movement, for fuck's sake? So
they're going to cut Tony Storm, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
God damn it. I knew it.
They're going to cut Tony Storm, and she's going to go right to AEW and fucking rule and have an awesome program with Britt Baker. Put it on the calendar.
They're going to cut Tony. They're going to cut Shayna, and I'll just run into a brick wall or something.
They should cut Shayna. They're wasting her. All right. Well, there you go. We got 100 of you watching us right now. Thank you so much. Had pretty much consistently around 100 people watching us for this show. I appreciate it. It's great to see it growing as much as it is every week. We appreciate you coming in with a lively chat, with your Streamlabs, with your super chats, and some of you coming in live tonight. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. Please make sure you hit a like on this video and share it on your social media so we get more people who are professional wrestling lovers to join us every week for a Strong Style here on the Outlaw Nation channel. Full Gear is next week. One of you want to send me a link? That'd be great. I think Aaron's going to buy it, but
don't say that live. Don't say that on the air. Please.
I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about. But there we go. All right, Aaron, let's get out of here. Tell people where they can find you and everything you got going on, my man.
You can find me on Twitter at only Aaron Turner. And guys, like some people in the edict of the WWE, am old, so I have dentures now. So let me put them in. Only Aaron Turner on Twitter. Thanks.
Jesus Christ.
Shoot dentures.
Shoot dentures. See, these strong as hell and older than yours. All right. Thank you. You guys can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Please remember to subscribe to the channel down below. We crossed 19,000 subscribers last week. Let's keep marching towards 20,000. Hopefully get to 20,000 by the end of the year. It's kind of a goal of mine. Would love that to happen. So we start 2022 in the 20s. That would be awesome. So help us do that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel down below, there will be more wrestling content as it goes down with Aaron and I for sure, as we start to hammer out more that's happening with the channel going into next year. And what else? Subscribe, like it. Oh yeah, you can follow me or subscribe to me on Twitch as well. The Outlaw Nation, all one word there on Twitch, and our Patreon, patreon.com/Jon Rocha, where you can hang out and have all kinds of fun going on. And let me tell you something. Been coming after Vince, Christian Harloff, my Vince McMahon. I've been coming after him more and more, and I got a feeling that the dam is starting to break. I got a feeling that I'm going to get my goddamn match. So I am turning up the pressure even more on Christian Harloff over the next few days, over the next week, to get him to give me my match. So if you're thinking of coming to Spectacular, you're on the fence because you don't know if I'm going to be there, get your tickets. I'm telling you right now, I am going to fucking be there. And get yourself a V for Vendetta mask, because right now in my mind, I'm going to launch my own entrance into my match when they give it to me. And he will give it to me. And if he doesn't give it to me, we're going to stand outside with our megaphones. We're going to crash that fucking event. So get your mask so you can be part of my entrance or be part of my protest at the Spectacular. Just letting you know.
We'll schmo down for food is what Jon Rocha is going to do at the Spectacular.
I mean, fuck. You know how it goes. All right. You guys are awesome. We love you madly. Take care of yourselves. Be well. And we'll talk. And Aaron Rodgers, if you're watching, get vaccinated.
Fuck you, Aaron Rodgers.
We'll talk to you next time on another brand new live episode of Strong Style. Be well.